What is going on, everyone? The Flyers make their move at the trade deadline. They waited to the last few seconds there, and Wayne Simmonds is headed to Nashville. Chuck Fletcher sends him out to Nashville with Peter Laviolette, and what we get in return is Ryan Hartman and a conditional 2020 fourth-round pick that will turn into a third-round pick if the Nashville Predators win one round of the playoffs. Let's be real. That's a very, 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 very realistic thing. So when I take a look at this, it's going to be a third-round pick. I mean, it's a no-brainer that Nashville ends up advancing to the second round. They are so talented, so deep. It is a no-brainer, in my opinion. So, am I a little underwhelmed? I'll be honest with you, yes. Yes, I feel like we get a third, fourth liner, like a Raffle almost, maybe a step up of a Raffle because he's only 24 years old, but that's what we get back in return, and a third-round draft pick. That's what happens when you wait until the end. Now, obviously, it's way better than nothing. For people who said we should have kept him, one, I think you're on drugs, and number two, for people who said, well, we should have kept him for the playoff push and let him walk at the end, no. I love Wayne Simmonds. He was a great player here, a great leader. He was here for many, 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 many years. He rocked the A, but you need to know when it's time to let go. It was obviously time to let go of Wayne Simmonds, and we will take a look at his career here as a Flyer and what he meant to this organization. But I need to look at Chuck Fletcher here because now he's made two moves, in my opinion, that are just... Anthony Stolarz for Cam Talbot. And that dude, I would have tried to at least snag a fourth, just due to the age difference, something. But that showed me there was no creativity as a GM. And I know what he did over in Minnesota. I have a track record to see what he did. But I always said I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I gave Elton Brand the benefit of the doubt. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. So the Cam Talbot, Anthony Stolarz trade, And here I am, sitting here with Wayne Simmonds trade. Underwhelmed. Underwhelmed. Now you look at the situation of Wayne Simmonds, obviously being a UFA at the end of the season and not having the best statistical career, but you can take a look around the league and see what some other guys got. How about the Brian Boyle trade with New Jersey? All respect in the world to him and everything he's battled through. But isn't Wayne Simmonds a better player? Absolutely. See, this is what happens when you wait till the very last second. I think we should have been shopping him a little earlier. We waited. I believe at 2:57, when the trade deadline was 3 o'clock, it might even been later than that, honestly, is when I saw the trade kind of going down. So in regards to Hartman, let's take a look at his stats. And in the NHL, 226 games, 40 goals, 43 assists. He has 83 points in about 226 games. So I'm a third-liner role kind of guy, young, 24, restricted free agent at the end of the season. He's not moving the needle for me. Role guy, not moving the needle for me for Wayne Simmonds. I'm just underwhelmed. I know Chuck Fletcher came out hot and said, give me a first. Well, this is what it's like. It's Shark Tank. You think the guys who walk in on Shark Tank and talk to Mark Cuban and all them, you think they come on and say, I'm going to give them a realistic option, so when they counter, I'm going to be upset. No, they come in. I want $300,000 for 20, for 8% of my company. They all laugh, then they counter with 20, and then they meet in the middle at a certain point, around 12, 13, 14. That's what you do. You come in hot, and you work your negotiations to meet in the middle. I don't know if we really got that. I'm not thrilled. I understand that you can find a nice piece for a third-round draft pick. In reality, you need to look at this as a third-rounder, because it would be an insane upset if Nashville does not get out of the first round. So I take a look at this as a third-round pick. You just got a third-liner and a third-round pick, essentially, for Wayne Simmonds. It's not the absolute worst thing in the world, but if you're putting this on a scale of 1 to 10, and 5 is in the middle, I'm at like 3.5. 3.5. So I'm not thrilled. I'm not pumped about it. But it is better than getting nothing. Now, we should never be in that position, and you should put yourself in a better spot to get more assets, but it is what it is. Looking at, Wayne Simmonds this season, in 62 games, 27 points, struggled 5-on-5, and our power play struggles insanely, and that's where he thrives. That's where he thrives big time. I love the guy, the way he plays, the intensity, driving to the net hard, being a physical beast, fighting, dropping the gloves, being an emotional leader. He represented Philly without a doubt with greatness. But you need to know when to pull the trigger and make a move. And it looked like his years are kind of declining a little, and his style of play is very unique, and he gets banged up a lot. I wonder if that plays a factor, the physicality of it, of his playing style, the way he mucks and grinds in the corners and goes to the blue paint. Am I the only one that's a little underwhelmed, though? I want to know down below in the comment section how you feel. Do you have hope for Chuck Fletcher moving forward? Because like I said, 2 trades now, and he's not pulling Elton Brand moves. Now, I get it. Elton Brand's pushing for the ride and the joy of the playoffs, and Chuck Fletcher's in a position now where we're kind of selling at the trade deadline, so it's different. And I can say, Howie's a magician, and he's not pulling Howie moves, but same kind of deal. It's you're in the other direction. You're selling. You're not buying. But I don't think we're getting the highest value for Wayne Simmonds. I'm not trying to say we should have got a first for him, to be honest with you. But maybe a second. Brian Boyle going for what he did with the Devils. Could we have gotten more for Wayne Simmonds than just a third-line guy and a conditional fourth that is probably going to be a third? Wayne Simmonds all around, though. Can I look at the stats just from Philadelphia? I feel like I can somewhere, but I mean, he brings tremendous value to a team, especially for a push. And in Nashville, I think it's a great fit. He can fit in that top 9. He can play a great role. He's always going to give you 7,000%. Playing under Peter Laviolette, of all people. I'm entertained to see that. The trade rumors were saying maybe he would go to Boston. That was the last place I would ever want to see him play because I wouldn't be able to root for him. So I'm very happy for that. And I saw Nashville get Granlund, and I thought, oh, they're probably done. And I saw Winnipeg go get Kevin Hayes, and I thought, wow, they really might be done. Maybe it is Boston. Because those were the 3 teams in the talk. I sit here and say, all right, Chuck. You're just, I mean, that's the only way I can literally describe it when I sit here and think about it. It's just, Did we wait too long? Should we have started shopping him earlier? So talks can come up and teams can really evaluate the situation, have teams bid for him. I just think we put it off so long. I guess maybe expecting to make a push. Maybe we didn't know where we were going to be when it comes to the playoffs. So Chuck didn't want to pull the trigger too early. In my opinion, we were selling. I knew we were going to sell how long ago? And I'm surprised I was the only guy to go. I'm underwhelmed. And that's the moral of the story. That's the headline here. Broads is underwhelmed with Chuck Fletcher's move when it comes to trading Wayne Simmonds. I do love the guy, though. Represented this city, A+, leader, rock the A. Very impactful to this organization, without a doubt. You can see just by the way the guys treat him in the locker room after the Stadium Series game, giving away the helmet and then saying, no, I don't want it. It goes to Simmonds. Simmonds having the boys over for dinner, understanding it was probably going to be his last game in Philadelphia. It's heartbreaking. You had some big moments here. But you got to know when it's time. And obviously he did. Obviously the organization did. It's just, did we get the most that we possibly could in return for Simmer? I'm leaning towards no. 3.5 out of 10. That's no good. In case you were wondering. That's no good. So let me know down below in the comment section. I want to hear your thoughts on this one. Chuck Fletcher not impressing me early on in his tenure here in Philadelphia. That's where we're at. Thank you so much for listening. Go Flyers. It'll be interesting to see how it goes moving forward here for this playoff push, if you will. Are we still calling it that? I don't know. I really don't know. Thank you so much. See you guys next time.